Hello YouTube, welcome to Curious Me channel. This is Shahbaz Khan, and in this video we will discuss about attribute routing. Now this is second part of routing in .NET Core. You can watch the previous video via the link in this tab here or in the description. The link is also in the description. Now attribute routing is pretty straightforward. It simply means you decorate your controller with the route itself. Now what do I mean by that? So let's open our code. So this is our code. Now this source code is available on GitHub. You can download this code via the link in the description down below. Now before we start, let me create a new branch. So as a bonus, let's discuss how the new branch is created in VS Code. You must have this Git extension installed and Git installed as an independent application in your Windows machine or Mac machine or whatever machine you are using. Make sure the Git extension is downloaded and you have Git available in your system. Now I will click on this master here. The moment I'll click on master, I'll get a pop-up and I'll click on this create new branch. I'll simply go ahead and write the name of the branch that I want. So what I want is, I'll name it feature and then attrib routing. Okay. So I have created this branch. You can also use this terminal to create the branch. It's not an issue. So anyways, let's move on. So once we have created a branch, what I'll do is I'll go to my startup.cs. Okay. And once we are in the startup.cs, what I'll do is I'll simply comment this entire thing out. Why? Because we do not want this template based routing, right? We do not want conventional routing. We want attribute routing. So for attribute routing, we do not need these templates and these templates or these route definitions. What we will do here is I'll simply write endpoints dot map control. Basically what this map controller will do is it will go to each and every controller and it will pick up the attribute routes that we are about to give them, and it will keep track of all the routes that we have defined on each attributes of our controllers. Okay, so that is done. Now once that is done, what I'll do is I'll simply open the terminal and run this application and see what happens. So .NET run. Okay, so our application is running. So what I'll do is I'll simply go ahead and open our browser, and once our browser is open, I'll open our address 5001, and once I navigate to that, you'll see that it displays this error message that this localhost page can't be found. Now why is that? Basically we have told our routing middleware that, hey, pick up all the routes from on top of the attributes from our controller or our actions, but we have not defined any routes above our actions or indices, our actions or controllers. So let's go ahead and do that. Now to do that, what I'll do is I'll write an attribute on top of my action. Basically, what is an attribute? An attribute is a keyword which is inside a square bracket on top of a function, a controller, or action. Okay, now this is a very loose definition of attribute. So I'll use route. It is the attribute that we will use to define our routes. So basically what I'll do is I'll give the route for this specific action as blog/index. Okay, not only that, I'll also give one more route for this. Okay, and I'll tell that when the route is empty, then also come here. Okay, and I'll also tell this and also add a route that when it is blog only blog, then also come here. Now what I'll do is I'll save this, I'll stop and restart my application. Okay, now let's open our application. And the moment I open localhost 5001, we'll see that we are immediately taken to this blog page. Okay, why is this happening? Is because I have told it specifically that when there is nothing, okay, when there is only blog or when there is blog/index, take me to this action. Okay, now let's go ahead and check each of these conditions. So basically right now there is nothing. So that's why we are in the blog page. When I write this, then also I'll come to this similar page. When I write blog/index, then also I'll come to this page only. So this is what I have defined. Other than this, no route will work. If I go to privacy, okay, it is not working because, so okay, let's try to go like this. If I go to home/privacy, it will error out. Why? Because we have not defined any route for this we have not defined any attribute with that privacy route. So right now in our entire application, only this route will work. Okay, so this is how you add simple route templates, okay, on top of your actions. How will you pass a parameter? So, okay, let's go ahead and pass a parameter. So basically what I'll do is, to pass a parameter, I'll write the template that I want to use, okay, and then just like we did there in our conventional routing, I'll write the parameters name inside the curly braces. That's it. So this is how I'll get my parameters. Now let's save this. Let's stop and rerun our application, and let's go back to our application and refresh this. Now if I click on this read post, I'll get an error. Why? Because if you remember that in our conventional video, we changed this route a little bit. So let me go ahead and change this back. In our views, home, in blog, and I guess index, and here we removed that. So I'll just add get post here and then save and rerun our application once again. Let's open. Let's refresh, go back, and now let's click on this read post. Let's refresh this again. Now let's go on this get post. Okay. Now you see this route works and this parameter is also going. How can we test this? Let me just write in 2 and I click on it, we'll get our second block. So this is how this entire thing is working. And this is how we can also pass the parameter. Right now, this route and this route are the these are the only routes that will work in our entire application. Okay. And similar thing from our conventional routing will also work here. You can add a question mark to make this parameter not mandatory. That is, this parameter will be optional. Okay, so you can send it or you cannot send it. It's up to you. Okay, so this is how it will work. One more thing that you have to realize here is this name, this blog slash get post slash ID, it is not mandatory that it has to match this controller name and the action name. You can write anything you want. So for example, let me just show this to you. If I write here Deku slash all might, okay, I have written a new, I have like so this is the new template that I have defined. It has nothing to do with the controller name. It has nothing to do with the index name. This is just simply saying that whenever you find this specific template, take the user to this specific action. Okay, so let's go ahead and try this out. So let me rerun the application. Let's open our application again, refresh it. Now what I'll do is I'll try to navigate to our newly defined template. So I'll write Deku slash all might. Okay, if I hit enter, you'll see that we are coming back to that page again. So basically why I did this is to show you that this template does not have to depend on this block and this action method. You can name your route whatever you want, but it is a good practice to always name it based on your controller and the action so that you are aware where your code is going. Okay, now as you can see from this that some things are very repetitive in here. For example, the name of this blog is repeated quite often. So how can we solve this? So in order to solve this, what I'll do is I'll simply cut this from here and place it on top of the controller itself. Okay, and now what I can do is I can simply remove this route from here, this blog from here. Okay, now by doing this, by defining this route, what will happen is this controller route will get combined with this action route. Okay, so now this route will become blog. Now if I want to visit this index, what will happen is this blog slash index will take me here. Similarly, blog slash get post slash ID will take me on to this action. Okay, so this is how it will work. Now let's stop this and rerun our application and see how it works. Okay, so let me remove this Deku and All Might, and let's go back to our blog index, and you can see that it works as it is. Okay, now one issue when you define route like in this way is if I navigate to this blank route, you will get an error. Why? Because I told you that this is combined with this. Okay, so basically now this empty route is getting combined with this blog. So basically this empty will not work anymore. but this blog will work. I hope you understand. So basically what has happened here is this blog is getting combined with this, and that's why the empty route, our empty route is not getting to this index. So how can we solve this? Well, we can simplify using this. Let me show it to you. By writing this, what I'm saying is, hey, do not combine this route with the controller's route. It's basically what I'm saying. So let me save this. Let me stop our application and rerun it. Let's open our application. Let's refresh this. It works. Okay. Now let's go to our empty route. If you refresh, it will also work. And if I want to navigate via blog/index, it will also work. Okay. So basically this is how you handle the situation where you want to redirect to this action when your route is empty. We can also use tokenization to make our actions and our controllers more generic. So what do I mean by that? Basically, instead of writing blog here, what I can do is I can simply write controller. Okay. Now controller is a token which will get replaced by this automatically. You don't have to worry about it. Similarly, what I can do is instead of writing index here, what I can do is I can simply write action. Okay. Similarly, instead of get post, what I'll do is I'll write action here. Now, if you are wondering why we need this, that's because if in future you change the name of your controller, you don't have to change the route. Similarly, if you change the name of the action, you don't have to change the route again. It will automatically replace this token. It will automatically replace this token with the name of your action. Simple as that. Now, once it is done, let's go ahead and again stop and rerun our application. Okay, let's open our application again. Let's refresh it and you'll see that it works as it is. All the routes will work as it is. Why? Because nothing has changed. Basically, what I have done simply here is I have used tokenization. Okay. Now, one more thing you will notice this is when I'm using this tokens, I can simply do something like this /action here itself. Okay. Now I don't have to worry about this. Similarly, I do not have to worry about this. Okay. So let's save and let's stop and rerun our application. Okay. So once this is done, let's open our application. Let's refresh it. And you see, again, it all works as it is supposed to, but this is not working. Why? Because we have missed something, and that something is, I'll let you know. So basically we still have to give, the parameter here. Okay. Because otherwise how will our route know that this route expects a parameter? So basically blog get post ID. This route is a combination of something like this: blog, get post, and then the ID. Okay, let's save, rerun our application. Now let's open our application. Let's refresh now and it will work as it is. Similarly, okay, so this is how we can use tokenization. Now again, just like other routes, there is also one issue here. See, this empty route works perfectly, no issues. Okay, now one route will not work here when I do not pass the action. So if I do not pass the action, it will automatically not go to this index. Why? Because our blog is already expecting controller and action and nothing else. And if I'm not giving an action, this controller will never get called. And by the way, this question mark here will not work because tokenization does not work like that. Okay. Now there is one very hacky way which you can use to tackle this default route in this case. Basically what I'll do is I'll simply write here blog. Basically I'm telling this to the router that whenever you see blog, come to this index. That's it. So let's stop and rerun our application. Let's open our application, refresh it, and here you can see it works. Everything will work now. The empty space, okay, so it is not working. What I have done here is I have removed this from here. Okay, so this is also mandatory because it tells that basically it's telling that when it's empty, go to this index. When it contains blog, then come to this index as well. So this is how we can hack our way. So let me stop and rerun this. Let's open our application, refresh it, and here you can see it works as it is. And every route will work now. If I go to blog, it works. If I go to blog/index, it works as well. It doesn't work. Because I need this here as well. Wow. So let me stop and run this again. Let's go ahead and open our application, refresh this, and it works. So basically this is a very hacky way of doing this. Okay, let me quickly check all the 3 routes. Yeah, perfect. All the threes are working. All the 3 routes are working. So this is a very hacky way of doing things. And one of the way you can tackle this is do not move this action here. Only for the controller, which index you want to make as default. All the other controllers, you can move the actions. Sorry, you can move the action from within route to the controller level. But for the controller whose action index you want to make default, do not do this. Keep this action at the index level itself. Okay, and that should do the trick. Or you can do it like that also. So these are the 2 options which you can use to make a default route. Okay, so basically I have covered everything related to attribute routing. Now I have only added route in this block controller. Similarly, you can add routes in home controller as well. Okay, it's your choice. Now let me quickly go ahead and do a few things. Let me stop this. Okay, and what I'll do is I'll simply, let me check. Okay, index.cshtml. What I'll do is I'll just commit this. Okay, I'll just push this so that if you want to explore more an attribute routing, you can use this branch itself, because I do not want attribute routing, and I'll tell you why. So let's go back to our original master branch where we don't have all these changes. Let me close all and let's explore our file. So now blog. Okay, so basically what I'll do is I'll go to my startup file and leave everything as it is. Okay, now let's go to our block controller. Let us quickly write a method here. Now what I'll do with this method is I'll write here get name ID. Fine. And what I'll do is I'll leave this ID as it is and I'll write a string as name, and I'll simply do one thing. I'll return hello ID and name. Simple as that. Now instead of iAction result, what I want is string. Now this is a simple method. What I'll simply do here is I'll simply here add a route, and I'll give a route my handsome. It's very long, leave it. I'll simply here write here my route slash, okay, get some slash, and I'll write ID and I'll write name. Simple. And I'll run this application. Let me copy this. Let's open our application, refresh this, and everything works as it is. Okay, we can go to home from here, we can go to blog from here, everything works as it is because we are using conventional routing. Now what I'll do is I'll just paste here something, and I'll give ID as 1 and I'll give name as Shahbaz, and you can see I'm getting the response back as hello 1 and Shahbaz. So what did we just see here? Basically attribute routing works with conventional routing as well. Okay, so you can, so that's why I created a separate branch for explaining attribute routing, because it's not a preferred way. Basically, I'll be honest with you, attribute routing is not a preferred way of handling routes in your entire application, because it becomes very cumbersome and confusing if your application is very large. So we should always use conventional routing because it gives you support for attribute routing as well. So that's why I created a separate branch and I pushed it, and yeah, that's it. So let me remove this as well because it is of no use. It was just for the purpose of this tutorial. So anyways, yeah, that was all about attribute routing, and let's end this video here. Post your questions and comments, like this video and subscribe the channel for more content. Thank you and bye bye.